Hi, today I'm going to focus on APA Citation, 7th edition. Citation is not an alien practice. Even when we talk, we often say, oh, so-and-so said today's meeting is cancelled. So when we say that, we are actually citing somebody to make our point stronger. But in academic writing, the citation has to follow certain rules so that other people know what we are doing. After this session, you should be able to 1. Differentiate between first name and family name. 2. Differentiate between author and information focus in the citation. And 3. Use correct format to cite sources. We want to cite people when we write because we want to acknowledge the intellectual property of others. We do not want to plagiarize their ideas and say that it is our own. So it's important we cite other sources when we write. Here is an example of a paragraph with citation. The first one is by an organization called Military Advantage 2017. And the second one has a bracket with 4 groups of authors inside there. This is what we call a multiple citations, and they all have the same idea. That's why it can be grouped into one bracket. And this is arranged alphabetically. You see, Aziz, Butler, Gabriel, Ting. If you look at the year, it goes from 2010 to 2021, back to 2014 and 2016. So it's really following alphabetical order. And we use a semicolon to separate the 4 papers. I have a few citation rules to share with you. Citation Rule 1. Cite using surname and year. This is APA citation style. As an example, we have David Beckham. The surname is Beckham. We have Lee Kuan Yew, and the surname is Lee. Okay. If we want to cite Indira Gandhi, we say, in her last speech, Gandhi 2011 stated that India's policy is to have friendly relations with all countries. We use the surname Gandhi. For Malay names, we follow international conventions. We use the father's name as the surname. Johari Abdullah is cited as Abdullah. If we cannot find the name of a person on the article, we use the organization. For example, Ministry of Higher Education 2020. If organization name is also not available, we use the title of the article, like in blogs and websites. We say Daring Duo 2019. Now we have a quiz question 1 here. Which is correct? This is to test whether you know which one is the surname. Okay, the answer is B. Citation Rule 2. Use direct quotation if you want to cite the exact words. Sometimes we feel that the exact words of that person gives the meaning and we cannot rewrite it, or else we change the meaning. Now, if that is the case, we do direct quotation, and we must do 2 things. First, use double quotation marks to mark off those words that come from that person. And secondly, put the page number. If it is an online source, put the paragraph number, PARA full stop 1 for paragraph 1. Another thing you need to learn, that is the third thing, when your quotations are long or short, the format is different. Long or short means more than or less than 40 words. You look at this example here. On the left side, it is the short quotation. Ethnicity is socially constructed and blah, blah, blah are in quotation marks. The blah, blah, blah are taken from Bowman 2004, page 13. So I use quotation mark to mark off very clearly which part belongs to Bowman and which part is my sentence. And then I tell people that the one in quotation marks come from Bowman, page 13. The full stop is at the end of the sentence. One sentence, one full stop, just like the door to your house. You close the door, this is the inside of my house, that is the outside. Okay, now look on the right hand side, the long quotation. Because it's more than 40 words, it is put in the block, indented block. So here I write, based on her analysis of newspaper reports of National Day celebrations, Ting 2017 concluded that, so I took the whole lock, stock and barrel and put into an indented block paragraph. And the few sentences finish with, the news media plays its role to influence the Malaysian public to attach importance to national unity and to appreciate what they have, full stop. That full stop there belongs to Ting 2017. I didn't do that full stop, but the part I added is page 54, which is in red. Now that's why it is put in a bracket outside of that full stop. And only one full stop because that belongs to Ting 2017. I don't need to put a full stop for my bracket page 54. Okay, so only one full stop there. Now, quiz question 2, which is correct to show the exact words used by Lee Kuan Yew? And the answer is C. You must put double quotation marks. You must put the page number. Another one. If this is a long quotation of more than 40 words, which is the correct way to put the page number? The correct answer is B. There's only one full stop, I told you. And the full stop is after the sentence spoken genres, which is written by Ferguson 2001. Okay, the page 80 comes from you or I when we took this direct quotation. Next, citation rule 3, paraphrase, but keep the meaning. You cannot use so much of direct quotation in your writing. Most of it has to be paraphrases. So no quotation marks, no page number also, just the sentence, but we cite the source. For example, the one in blue here, people who speak 2 or more languages have better attention span and multitasking abilities, bracket, Shook 2012, close the bracket. If you want to do direct quotation, it's like in the white box there. People who speak 2 or more languages have better attention and task switching abilities. You close the quotation mark, you put Shook 2012, page 7. Okay, there is a difference, and make sure you get it right. Question 4, which shows the correct format for a paraphrase? The answer is A. No mention of the page number. In terms of paraphrasing, I have 4 techniques here, but I won't go into detail. It's just for you to know the different levels of paraphrasing. At the basic level is synonyms or replacing words with similar meaning. Then you go for the sentence structure. You can change active to passive voice or passive to active voice. Or you can combine sentences and make them into one, or you can break them up. But normally this will go with synonyms. Because if you just break up sentences, when you put it through Turnitin test, the similarity of words will still be there. So you have to use it with synonyms. But if you do number 4, which is to summarize the idea and capture the main point, I think most of it will be your own words. Citation rule 4. And ampersand. Both have the meaning of and, but one is a word and, another one is a symbol, this and sign. When do we use it? Well, in a sentence, we use and because it is an English word, and. Blairstock, Luke, Pitts, and Young, 2010, blah, blah, blah. But if you put it into the bracket, bilingual children are constructing the world through 2 telescopes, bracket, Blairstock, Luke, Pitts, and Young, 2010. Here, the and is the ampersand sign. How to remember? Well, ampersand is a sign. It is not an English word, so you cannot have it in the sentence. You can only have it in the bracket. And please remember, there is a comma before the and, and there's a comma before the ampersand sign, whether it is outside the bracket or in the bracket. Please remember this. So which is number 5, which is the correct way to use and the ampersand sign? And the answer is C, inside the bracket. Okay, citation rule 5. For 3 or more authors, use et al, meaning and company, when you cite. This is APA 7th edition. 2 persons, you use, for example, Ting and Jerome, 2010. If 3 persons, Ting, Jerome, and Hassan, it will become Ting et al. 2010, like Blairstock et al. 2010. And when you write et al, it's ETAL full stop. One full stop after AL. This is the Latin word, okay? Which is question 6, which is the correct way to cite 4 authors? And the answer is, sorry, the cite 4 authors, the answer is A. At all from the start, none of all the other things. This is the new 7th edition. Okay, citation rule 6. If you wish to highlight the author, you do author prominent citation. That is, you put the author's name right at the beginning of the sentence. Like Einstein 1905 developed the theory of relativity. Then we will go on to explain Einstein's discovery further, how he came upon it. You know, the focus is on him. If you want to highlight the ideas or the findings, you do information prominent citation. Now you put the information right in front and the author's name is pushed to the end of the sentence. For example, the theory of relativity was developed by Einstein 1905. Here we are more interested in E equals to mc squared, how it's applied and so on. Einstein just happened to be mentioned to acknowledge him, but we are interested in the theory. So we put the information in front. Question 7, which highlights the finding? Answer is B, because it starts with bilingual children are constructing the world through 2 telescopes. Okay, citation rule 7. This is a bit complex. I need you to pay attention. If you want to use some information that you came across in an article, this is called secondary citation. You see, the one you hold in your hand, you look at the picture there, is Ting, Tang, and on prestige of products and code switching. This is the one you hold in your hand. But inside there, on the first page, you saw this sentence you like very much, which I have underlined here. Lanto asserts that code switching research could benefit from positioning new speakers of a language not as perpetual learners or deviant bilinguals, but as multilingual speakers in their own right. You like this statement very much, but you are a bit lazy or you cannot get hold of Lanto 2018. So you write like this. Multilingual speakers do not code switch because of poor proficiency in the language. Lanto 2018, as cited in Ting et al. 2018, page 166. You pay attention to where all the commas are. Okay, this is called secondary citations. You cannot do so many secondary citations because nowadays information are more readily accessible than long ago, although we acknowledge that certain documents are probably not accessible. But if really so, then this is how you do secondary citations. So for more help on citation and referencing, refer to the link given here. Okay. Hopefully, I have helped you to understand